Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to our Ta'aruf Tauhid session together with me Ustaz Syaakir. And today insya-Allah we will be discussing on the topic of zakat or alms giving. Okay. Zakat, normally this word comes by during Ramadan. Zakat is also a pillar of Islam. In fact, it is one of the important or major pillars of Islam. In the Quran, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala actually mentions the word zakat or doing zakat, doing alms giving almost 80 times, more than 80 times, together with the word salah. Allah regularly mention this in the Quran by saying wa aqimus salata wa atuz zakah. Allah said, do salat, do your prayers, and also don't forget to do zakat. So in this context, we see that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala tied both of these major pillar of Islam together. We know that prayer is essential. In fact, it's important for us to pray. Not praying is actually a major sin. So Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is trying to tell us, yes, you pray 5 times a day, every day, like what I have commanded you, but don't you forget another commandment that I have kindly reminded you and have tied it with prayers, which is to do your zakah. So zakah is a very important aspect of religion. Okay, so what is zakat? Zakat is actually translated as alms giving, or you can also treat it as a mandatory or obligatory charity. So it is an obligation for all Muslims to do zakah. So what is zakah? Zakat is actually categorized into two, and for this Ramadan, we actually focus on the first type of zakat, which is zakatul fitri. And zakatul fitri means zakat on person, or zakat of Ramadan. And so that is zakatul fitri. The other category is called zakatul mal, which is zakat on wealth. So we are going to focus on the first category, which is doing zakat during Ramadan. If not for COVID, after Tarawih, we will see there are tables prepared outside the praying hall. That is where people do their zakat. Zakat is a obligatory charity that we do to help purify the wealth that we have. In fact, it is mandatory. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has made it an obligation. And so, who is obligated to do zakat? Every Muslim is obligated to do zakat for himself and also for his dependents. For if he has a wife, he have children that have yet to reach puberty, he has to take out zakah for them. Okay, so zakat must be paid within a stipulated time. in fact, you have to pay zakat before the last before you pray Salat Eidul Fitri, before you pray the Eid prayers, and that is the last time you can pay zakat in the morning of Eid. So make sure during Ramadan we have the opportunity of paying zakat during Ramadan too, because it is before the morning of Eid. So take this opportunity. Now that you have listened to this session by me, you already remember that zakat is obligatory, so we quickly do our responsibility as a Muslim and pay zakat, okay, so that we don't forget it. If we do forget it, for example, for the past few years I haven't done zakat, then we repay back the amount that we have yet to pay. So zakat, how many should I donate, or how many should I fork out for zakat? I need so zakat, you need to feed at least one person around 2.3 kilos of foods. So that is the zakat limit. Okay, so we have understand what is zakat, and we have understand the importance of paying zakat. Okay, and then we move on to okay, apart from that, literally zakat means to purify. Zakat means zakah. Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala also mentioned the word zakah in the Quran. Allah said, success to those who purify themselves. So we should be in constant purification. Apart from purifying our heart, we have purified our heart through waking up for prayers, through reciting the Quran. We have purified our soul by reciting the Quran. We have purified our body, our insides, through fasting. So it's time to purify one more thing, which is to purify our wealth. So this is how the pillars of Islam completes each other. This is how Ramadan is very perfect and very beautiful. They complete each other. You have done everything. You have done your salat, you have done your Quran, you have done fasting, you have done your sadaqah, and then now you will have the last commandment, which is to do zakat. Why? To purify the wealth that we have. And zakat is to purify the wealth that we have, that Allah has Subhanahu Wa Taala has given to us. Okay, apart from the word zakah, like I said, means purify. It purifies our wealth literally. Because for example, we don't know the wealth that we accumulate. Some of them might be combined with things that are impure. Maybe it's not we didn't get it through halal ways. So through zakat we actually purify our wealth to make sure that it's halal. Okay, and it's an obligation. Okay, so apart from purifying our wealth, zakat also, like I said, zakat purifying actually purifies our heart. Our heart is attached to worldly things, and we are attached to money, we are attached to people, and we are attached to things. But here our main focus is attaching ourselves to money. And I believe that this is the nature. It has become a nature. If it's not a nature of human, it has become the nature of human beings to focus on money. That is why our system, where we in Singapore or in everywhere in the world, we will want to have a good job that pays us this certain amount. That is no problem. It's good to have a good job. It's good to have a high pay. That is no problem. But being attached to something, being too attached to something, that is where the problem lies. Okay, so Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala actually wants us to purify our heart, reminding us that through zakat, Allah is reminding us that this wealth that you accumulate is actually the wealth of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Don't get attached to it. You will be separated in the future. You will be separated by from this wealth in the future, so don't get too attached. So that is purifying your wealth through zakat. Okay, so the other benefit of zakat is also to help us be reminded of the people around us. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala wants us to become a member of community that is understanding, that is caring of people. We live in a community. No one live alone by himself. That is why Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala wants us to help each other by making it an obligation, so that we have no excuse but to also give out the money, that the excess money that we have. Okay, so that is through zakat. Okay, and then another benefit of zakat is that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala wants to put into ourselves the feeling of the feeling that this money that Allah give you, it's the form of it is in the form of loan from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We don't take this money, we take this money because it is a blessing from Allah. And we must be in constant reminder that when we give zakat, it is not because we feel sympathy or we pity that person and so on, but it is the heart of that person, and he deserves that money from us. It's not because of something else. Okay, so that is zakatul al-fitri. Remember to do zakat every year. It is a yearly thing. You only take out zakat once a year. Even though Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala tied zakat to prayers, in prayers you do it 5 times a day, daily, but zakat you only do it once a year, or twice a year if you combine it with zakatul fitri and zakatul mal. Okay, so the special thing about zakatul fitri, like I said, it's mandatory for everyone that have an excess in their sustenance. So zakatul fitri doesn't look at a person's background. Anytime he has an excess, he has extra money, he has savings, he has to take out that money. Other benefits of paying. We were on the topic of the difference between zakatul mal and zakatul fitri. So we said that zakatul fitri, everyone that has an excess, or even though a little, you can pay. You must pay and take out zakat. But zakatul mal, zakat on wealth, is for those people who they reach the amount that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has put. Okay, so in a way Allah is saying that everyone should play their part in giving without looking at backgrounds. You even though you have a small amount, a small excess, give it to charity, give it as a form of zakat. Okay, so another benefit of zakat is that through zakat we are actually helping someone. We are actually helping the poor, the needy, the one in need. Okay, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith, Wallahu fi auni al-abdi ma dama al-abdu fi auni akhihi. The Prophet said that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will help those who help his brother. If you help someone, know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you in the future. And that should be our mindset when we help someone. We help someone because we don't know in the future what is our state, where would we be, because we are in a state we don't know what our future would be. We can be very rich today, but we don't know, maybe in the next few years or even tomorrow we can become poor with no money. So that we remain protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do zakat. So through zakat we are actually helping ourselves too. We are actually helping ourselves. Okay, the other benefit is that every time we gain blessing of Allah, every time we get something, it is encouraged for us to show it. It is a show of appreciation. Wa amma bi ni'mati rabbika fahaddith. If you have a blessing from Allah, you get a blessing from Allah, show it. And you show it through your zakat. Because through zakat, you are actually saying that, oh, I have this certain amount of money, I want to give it to in the form of zakat, in the form of charity, obligation charity. Okay, so we are actually grounding ourselves, feeling that we are not arrogant through giving. We are not arrogant because we have a lot of money. We are not arrogant because of the status that we have. So we are actually grounded through zakat. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man la yashkuril nasa la yashkurillah." Whoever who doesn't appreciate people's deed, he doesn't appreciate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so every time when we receive something, it is encouraged for us to also give. So that is the process that should be made. Every time when we have something, we give away something, because we know that zakat, it is to purify what we have. Okay, so zakat is also the concept of zakat and sadaqah. Sedekah or charity is actually the same. We are helping someone, we are giving them a certain amount of money to help them in their life. The difference between sadaqah and also zakat is that zakat is an obligation, meanwhile charity or sadaqah is a choice, is by choice. And zakatul fitri, we need to do it at a stipulated time. Sadaqah, you can do it throughout the year. So that is why that is the difference between zakat and sadaqah. So even if you don't want to do sadaqah, you at least do it once a year during Ramadan. Okay, so that is the difference between sadaqah and zakat. And the benefits of sadaqah and zakat is almost the same because we are actually giving someone something. Okay, so don't forget to do our part as a Muslim, and we know that zakat is the one of the pillar of Islam. So we do our part as a Muslim. We have done our fasting during Ramadan. We have done our prayers during Ramadan. So we take the last few days of Ramadan now to complete another pillar of Islam, which is to do zakat. I hope that although zakat is only one a year, we don't neglect it, and I hope that we ourselves are purified when we do zakat. Okay, remember our intention in every deed that we do is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. See you in the next session of Ta'aruf Tauhid, inshallah.